This is the Essential Business Writing Skills module dealing with rewrite, completeness, and organization. Remember the process approach to writing. We're going to break it up into its component steps: pre-write, free-write, and rewrite. Rewrite is editing your document. And when we edit, we're going to edit in this order. We're going to edit with an eye towards completeness. Is everything there? We're going to edit with an eye towards organization. Is the flow optimal? We'll edit with an eye towards style. Is it good writing style? Then we'll look at correctness. Do we have everything correct? And then finally, we'll edit with an eye towards visual appeal. Does our document look as good as it can? But let's go ahead and start with completeness. When we created our cluster, we thought we had all of the parts, but now that we've got the document, we've got to ask the question, is anything missing? Sometimes whole sections might be missing. If that's the case, go ahead and create a new cluster for that missing part, free write from that, and then plug it in. Or sometimes it's not quite that much. Sometimes it's just a few things, so plug them in. For example, when I put together the report on Nike, after I looked at it, I saw that I was missing a couple of things. I missed a couple of details about Onitsuka, the Japanese manufacturing firm that they first partnered with. There were several endorsers that I missed their names, so I had to go back and grab those. And then finally, the current financials, and I think including a comparison of Under Armour, their major competitor, would be a good idea. So when we first start to edit, we need to make sure, hey, is everything there? A lot of times we're missing parts, and so we'll go back and fill in those missing components. Next, we're going to edit with an eye towards organization. Is our organization optimal? Now again, when we created the cluster, we then turned that cluster into a de facto outline by creating some sort of organizational flow to it. Now that we have the document, we want to ask the question, is that organization optimal? And one thing that is so nice now with word processors is we can use the power of the word processor to help us with the organization. For example, here was my original organization. You see my sections: the early years, manufacturing and the Nike brand, apparel and endorsements, problems, Nike today. And then I reorganized it in this next document: Nike today, problems, the early years, manufacturing and the Nike brand, apparel and endorsements. What I often do is I simply create clones of the document. For example, here's my first document, and you see the name of the document at the top there, Nike background. And so then what I'll do is I'll say save as Nike background 2. Save as Nike background 3, save as Nike background 4. Here's my Nike background 2, in which all I did was I cut and paste sections entirely. Sometimes just playing around with a document will allow you to find a better organizational flow. So when we start to edit, we want to first edit with an eye towards completeness, then edit with an eye towards organization, and next up we're going to edit with an eye towards style. Style is not black and white. Style is gray. Style is not right or wrong. However, a lot of people would agree that this is good writing style, this is bad writing style. And so in our next module, because it's going to take a long time, I want to break before we start our next module on style, and we'll look at good style as opposed to not so good style. So that'll do it for this very, very short module on completeness and organization.